Hello, my name is Jamie Dougherty, and this is my review experience on the social confidence system and working with Sebastian van der Scheer from socialanxietysolutions.com. So I got the social confidence system about nearly 2 years ago now, so it's taken me a long time to do a review of it, but so I got it and I was very skeptical. I thought, yet another thing, because I've done sort of self-development stuff previous to that, and I paid for things and I tried things out. Some things are all right, but a lot of them were just scams. So naturally, I thought, is this going to be yet another thing? It's going to be yet another. I don't want to get my hopes up in case I get disappointed, which is a valid concern, but I'd like to report that it wasn't the case. I feel like I did get my money's worth. So the social confidence system is a one-size-fits-all way of trying to reduce the chunk of your anxiety. And the way it does this is by a mixture of different things. It uses certain questions and writing exercises. It's about getting clear on the origins of why you feel that way. Talked about beliefs, talked about self-acceptance. It even goes into memories and how to release them. It uses mostly EFT, but there's also a little bit of Logosynthesis in there, which is witchcraft as far as I'm concerned. That stuff, I don't know how it works. I don't know why it should work, but it kind of does. I found that brilliant, and I want more of that. So a big chunk of the system is finding the origins of your anxiety, or you can use it for other stuff as well. Like you might find that your depression or lack of self-worth and your views on the world are all tied into past experiences. So as you work through your past experiences for your social anxiety, you also help with a lot of other things that are attached as well, which is great. I mean, you'll be surprised at what actually caused your social anxiety and how that affected other things as well. One thing I found very helpful was working through past memories. This is something I still use today. I've got a huge list of all these memories I've been working through, and I've been trying to reduce my emotional response to them, feeling more comfortable about trying to reassess what happened and to give me a better idea of how to act in the future. I really got a lot out of this. It's probably the scariest part, because not everyone likes going back to the past memories. Some for very good reasons. Some people got just super traumatic things happen to them, but everybody has a lot of little things, and so having a safe and easy way to make sense of them and to move on from them is big. I would definitely recommend this system to anybody. And some of the criticisms I have are quite nitpicky. One being that a lot of the videos and audio files, a lot of them seem a little bit out of date, because you see Sebastian doing, the content's good, but the video quality is from the 80s, and then you have the next video which is more recent, and it's I'm gonna be a bit pedantic and say I like a consistency in quality, but whatever, as long as the content's good, that's fine. And I thought the content was very good. It's very focused on your past and why you believe things, which, yes, that is a huge chunk of it. I would like to see more about what to do in the future. It kind of does that a little bit, whereby you're getting clear on what you don't want and what you do want in the future, because that's very important. But it's kind of like, say you have done the system for a while and you are starting to feel a lot more comfortable with yourself. What things can you do to to start getting yourself out there, start being more sociable? I think it kind of lacks a little bit there. It gives some stuff about, try this and that, but I don't think that advice matches up to the quality of the previous things in the system. But overall, I really like it. I still find myself going back to it sometimes. I'd like to see some updates, and it seems pretty easy to do because it's not a product necessarily. You're paying for a login for a site, so you don't have to wait for DVDs or ebooks or stuff. It's just all there. You can bookmark the site. You're on your computer anyway, because everyone's on the computer anyway nowadays. So there it is. It's all just there. And it makes sense. It's organised. So now I'm going to talk about my experience having a session with Sebastian himself. So I'd done the social confidence system for a while, and I got pretty far in, and I saw quite a lot of lasting results. I'll give you one example. So whenever there's like someone who looks a bit rough coming down the street, I'd always cross the road, you know. But I worked through some of the memories and to why I think that might be the case. And then I was walking down the street one day and I saw someone, a rough looking person, coming towards me, but I didn't really have the same reaction. I was kind of like, oh, they're the type of person that would, I don't know, be an arsehole to me. Whatever. I walked past them and nothing happened. You know, I didn't feel one way or the other. That is like, oh, that's done now. It's just that those memories have been put to rest. So I've been doing the social confidence system for a few months, and I was getting a lot out of it. But I felt like I wasn't doing enough, right? And what I later learned in the session, well, I'll get there in a minute. So I thought I wasn't doing enough. So I thought, oh, I'll reach out to the man himself and do some actual one-to-one sessions, you know, that'd be really helpful. And they were. I reached out to him. I was a bit nervous reaching out to him. And a couple of reasons. One, the money. Am I going to get my money's worth? But I had that worry with anything. So, you know, whatever. But another reason I didn't reach out, or what was preventing me from reaching out, was I actually felt a little bit starstruck by him. You know, because I've seen him in all these videos, and the thought of like, oh, the little man on the screen is talking to me. Like, huh. Like, I know all about him, but he knows nothing about me. You know, there's like this disconnect there, which isn't a problem because, I mean, he's not a celebrity or anything. So I reached out to him. He was very nice, it was actually very nice. Oh, I don't know why I thought it was going to be mean or anything, but I had social anxiety, so of course I would. Very friendly. He knows, he gets it. He's somebody who's been through it all. He knows what it's like to be socially anxious. He's worked with tons of people. You know, he knows how to talk to you. Now that seems like kind of an odd thing to say, but it really does make one thing about social anxiety is that you feel like you're the only one and no one else gets it. But with Sebastian, I felt like, yeah, he gets it. You know, he knows how to handle it. He will know how to handle me. That's probably not the best way of putting it, but that's the impression I got. So I reached out to him. He was very friendly. Very helpful. He said, you know, any questions, anything, let me know. I had a session with him, and I was nervous, to say the least. I was anxious about my session about social anxiety, but of course I would have been because I was socially anxious. So yeah. Since then, incidentally, I'm trying to be an EFT practitioner, so I've actually had to have one-to-one sessions with people. So I've had sessions with other people, and I've had, you know, helped other people as well. So I've been on the other side, you know. So yeah, that's a testament to how well it worked, I suppose. So when I met Sebastian, he's done this before, and it's kind of obvious that it's a weird situation, and it's, you know, it's very nervous, and you're a nervous person, so, you know. And he knows how to handle it. And after after like 5 minutes, I felt pretty comfortable. I felt okay, and we were able to work together. It's for the most part a EFT session. That's the main technique. But Sebastian also incorporates other techniques like logosynthesis. I think he's done some NLP stuff. Well, at least I got the impression he did some NLP stuff. So he was able to incorporate all these techniques into one. One criticism I have about my session, whether Sebastian still does this, because it was 2 years ago or not, I don't know. He uses variety of different techniques, but he uses these other techniques which are like energy techniques. Now, EFT is an energy technique, but with EFT, you focus on the problem and you're trying to make sense of something as you're working through these meridian points. But these other energy techniques are not really based on your problem. It's more like this idea you have this aura around you and you're trying to rebalance the chakras and things like that. And honestly, I didn't find them very helpful. I would much rather have continued on doing more EFT stuff and talking about it. Just talking to someone about it. That in itself was helpful. Sebastian does do that. I mean, we were talking, getting to know each other a little bit. But these other techniques were like, I don't even know what, I can't remember what it's called. One that you have to like hold like that and then cross your legs and think about. I can't remember what I thought about now. Like, I didn't really find that very helpful. I didn't get much from it. And another one was like, I can't remember what it's called, but like it made me like do this over my head, like because rebalancing energy or something. And I thought I didn't get much out of that, to be honest with you. But the EFT and the logosynthesis, that I keep going on about logosynthesis. That stuff is just, I really like that. That was just, anyway. So through these sessions, I realised that I was too hard on myself. In other words, I didn't accept myself, but specifically, I was too hard on myself. I was playing a comparison game inside my head about I'm this age, and at this age, I should be doing something like this, or I should be here, or I should be doing all these shoulds. And they weren't helpful. And the fact that I felt I have all this unmatched potential and I'm unmatching it and I'm not getting anywhere, I sort of felt like I was in a rush. After that, I realised that I need to give myself a break. I needed to slow down a bit. I needed to sort of take things in smaller chunks, and I got a lot out of that. And I don't think I would have realised that if I'd done more work by myself. It really did speed up my personal development, having a one-to-one session. So yeah, Sebastian was very nice. In between sessions, he said, look, let me know how you get on. Any questions, let me know. Overall, it was a very positive experience, and I got a lot out of it. And I would absolutely recommend having a session with Sebastian. So yeah, that was my experience with social anxiety solutions. I highly recommend it. They've got a show, a podcast. They haven't done much in the way of podcasting, but they're still putting out content. The social confidence system, I love that thing. I think it's the best thing I've tried, and I've tried a lot of things. I really got a lot out of sessions with Sebastian. He knows what he's talking about. He's somebody who's been there and done that, and is able to help people effectively.
All right, I thought I'd give a little bit of a reply. So first of all, thanks Jamie, that's really awesome. Appreciate you sending that over, and I think it's going to be helpful for other people seeing that. I just watched it for the second time, so I have some comments about what you said. First of all, Jamie said he was very skeptical, and he said he didn't want to get his hopes up and then get disappointed again. Yes, very common. If you've tried a lot of things in vain and you've put in your effort, your brain is like, well, the next thing is likely going to suck as well. And that disappointed feeling, that's really painful. Do you really want to get your hopes up? And so a lot of people become very skeptical, which makes sense. However, your skepticism can stop you from trying new things, and then you just stay stuck because of your skepticism, and that's where your skepticism is actually maybe not that smart. Anyway, that's a quick thing I wanted to say. Further, he mentioned he had a huge list of memories that he was going to go through systematically, which is one way of going about things. And I just wanted to say, for someone who thinks like, oh my God, I've got thousands of memories to go through, this will take forever. No, because there's something called the generalization effect. So when you have a whole bunch of memories around a particular theme, say you have 100 memories of rejection, then if you treat the first one, the worst one, the most recent one, and maybe a few more, the healing from those, the releasing of that stuck energy in those memories will release all the other ones as well. It's called the Generalization Effect, and that's because it's all energetically linked, or if you don't believe in energy, it's all emotionally linked in your subconscious. So that's that. Then and it's not just any memory that you go through. There are specific memories related to your social anxiety, and the social confidence system is one way to uncover what the right ones are. That's part of what the questions are about, to help you get clear on the right memories and that kind of stuff. Yeah, the video files are outdated. It's true. You know, some of them are shot from when I was still living in Chiang Mai, Thailand, like 5 years ago, and so they're shot with all my notes in the background and that kind of stuff. So the quality isn't great, but you can hear everything, you can see everything. So I'm with you. It's not super consistent. More on that in just a second. Yeah, things about the future that were not really included. There are a few things about the future, but not too much. I've done that on purpose because for the most part you're reliving emotions from the past, and there's not that much that you need to do when it comes to forcing yourself to get out there. There are a couple of things that you want to do, and I do talk about them, and let's just say I'll get back to this as well. Like some updates. All right, well, let's just bring it all together here. So not necessarily an update, but something else is coming up, and that's making the social confidence system that is currently out there, which, by the way, is a product that I've redone 9 times. So there have been 9 revisions of the system since I brought it out, which I did, I think, in 2009 or 2010. Is it that long ago? Likely that long ago. So there have been about 9 revisions of it. And that said, what I'm bringing out now is something, you know, it's different, and it's like incomparable to the system. It's a lot better. So if you're thinking after this testimonial, wow, I'm gonna get the system, you can, but I'd say wait a little bit longer. There's something much more exciting coming up, and I'd say that the new thing that's coming up is like the iPhone 10, whereas the social confidence system is like the iPhone 1. Still awesome, still great, but comparably it doesn't measure up. Yeah, the whole thing about being starstruck, loved it. Thanks for sharing that. That's that's funny. Yeah, I'm obviously just a dude who's stepped behind the camera a whole bunch of time, but we're all in the same boat here. So yeah, there's not much what I can say is other than you and me are the same. So that's it. And yes, the whole idea that you are starstruck with some people means that you're, well, you know, not talking to you necessarily, Jamie, but when you have that particular problem, when you're looking up to other people and they're like, they're better than you and you're not on their level, that just means that you're running a belief such as I'm not good enough, or I'm inferior, or I'm less than others, I'm not important, I don't matter, something along those lines. And that's sabotaging the show for you, and that in and of itself is causing you to not feel safe to be yourself, because who are you after all? You're just this not important person, so you don't really deserve to just speak up and say what you want to say, and, you know, say your jokes, be loud, or whatever you want to do. And then yeah, Jamie mentioned that he was anxious about the social anxiety session, which is common, and I'd say about 80% of my clients is anxious at the start of the first session, and that's something we address, boom, right at the right there, because what the session actually does is it brings up the problem right there for you. So right now, when you're talking to me or any practitioner that you work with, you're bringing the problem into the room. So now you have your social anxiety right there in front of you, and a good practitioner will know how to work with that. So, and like he said, in most cases you're calmed down in a couple of minutes. Yeah, and in case you're not, that's also good news, because then we can look at why not, and we'll address that. But there isn't a single person anymore that I work with these days that doesn't feel great at the end of a session, or at least feels that something significantly has been shifted. You don't feel the same after 90 minutes of all the weird stuff that's going on. Speaking of which, so Jamie talked about EFT. Well, that's the tapping thing, and I don't think that people need to know I need to elaborate on what that is. It's a technique to get rid of excessive negative emotions, stuck negative emotions, beliefs that are in the way of you feeling at ease socially. It looks weird because you're tapping on your face and your body, and it's quite out there, but it's amazing and it's really effective, and it's leading edge stuff. And he mentioned logosynthesis. Logosynthesis is an intention-based technique, which is, like he said, witchcraft. It is bizarre, but basically you aim those phrases at particular memories, fantasies, worries, concerns, and you say these phrases. So you tune into a particular memory, you feel upset, you say those phrases, and the upset goes away. The energy gets rebalanced. It's weird, but it works. So I use that along with tapping, and he said, he mentioned, he was referring to two other things. One is Psych-K, psychological kinesiology, which I do still use frequently because it's incredible, and it's a way to install positive beliefs directly into your subconscious mind. So if you ever heard of affirmations, I love myself, say it harder with emotions, I love myself, right? That stuff that takes forever only to work a little bit. Psych-K is a way to put affirmations on steroids, and it does work, and it works amazingly well in my experience, and I use it pretty much with all of my clients, or most of my clients. It's a fantastic way to override negative beliefs. So if you don't love yourself, for example, you could install a belief such as, I'm worthy of being loved, or I love myself, and that will override the previous programming that is there. It's spectacular. The other one that he's referring to, where you're doing this, is indeed very weird, and usually I only pull it out after a couple of sessions when my clients have already noticed significant changes in their life, because most of the time I'm just talking about tapping and not talking about these other things because they're so weird and out there. And so if I start promoting these things also, I just lose all credibility. So that's why I don't promote those so much. But emotion code is also an amazing technique. The challenge with it is that it's so weird, and when what it is, it's a way to uncover and release trapped emotions, and it's based upon muscle testing. I won't go into what exactly it is. If you can listen to the interview with the founder of the technique, as well as as a leading voice in the Psych-K community, as well as the founder of the Logosynthesis podcast, and I'll link that somewhere under here. Rachel will link that under here. But emotion code is a way to uncover trapped emotions and then release them by making this motion. The challenge with it is that you don't feel anything shifting in the moment, usually. And with Psych-K, you usually feel a shift. With Logosynthesis, you'll feel a shift. With tapping, you'll feel a shift. But with emotion code, the shifts usually come like in a day or two. So, but I still use that because it's very powerful and it's rapid, quick. If I do that in a session, it might take up 2 or 3 minutes of our time, and I find it very valuable. So, and lastly, no, that was about it. All right, so Jamie, thank you very much. I hope this feedback has been helpful. I'd say keep an eye out on what's coming. It's very exciting. I'm very proud of it, and you're gonna hear more about it soon. I'm gonna go back to sitting at my desk and getting some stuff done for that project, because it's almost done but not completely. All right, thank you very much. I'll talk to you next Thursday. Bye.